What we have seen is that women have not, even though they have become doctors, they have not made the leap into medical research, and that's for a number of reasons. By the time you become a doctor and specialized in your 30s, you then need to pay attention to having a family, getting married, and so the next time you look up, you're in your 40s, and people feel like it's too late to start a career in science in your 40s. And I think we need to change it. If you have a look at our PhD program, we say you have to be newly qualified, and we have not taken into account that women have other obligations. And so the way we treat women should be different. We should understand women's obligations to reproduction and make allowances for women to start a career in research at a much later age than we expect men to start. Well, the MRC is in a pivotal area in the world. We're in South Africa. We have an immense burden of disease, both in the non-communicable and in the communicable terrain. Not only do we have the burden of disease, but we also have a great caliber of scientist who is able to address some of the issues related to either TB or HIV or diabetes and hypertension and obesity. And so we sit in an incredible position in the world where we have great scientists, we have great infrastructure, and we have the burden of disease. And so we can understand the disease so much better than anyone else who's not living here in South Africa. So I do think that if there are going to be any cures or any discoveries or any leaps in our understanding of any of the diseases that's going to happen in South Africa. Okay, public-private partnerships are critical to move the field forward. A lot of the orphan diseases that affect South Africans, like TB and HIV, most pharmaceutical companies may not be interested in finding a vaccine, say for TB or HIV, because they would have to give it away at for nothing. If we found an HIV vaccine or a TB vaccine that worked, the people that need it are the poorest people in the world. And so you're not going to make a lot of money if you're a pharmaceutical company. And so what we have to do, we have to come up with our public money. We have to go to private donors and industry and say, let's work together. Let's take the risk together and let's reap the benefits together. Often you'll hear pharmaceutical companies saying, well, we spend billions of dollars in discovering a vaccine or a drug, and we need to put that money back into research. We need to pay our shareholders, and so we can't give you affordable pricing and we can't distribute our products to you for free. And so the public-private partnership approach says we take our risk together, we invest together, and we benefit together. And so if we do make a discovery, we share in the gains made by the discovery. So public-private partnerships are the only way to go when you're talking about diseases that affect poor people. Traditionally, doctors have not done medical research, and they have not traditionally got PhDs. And so the MD PhD program is a new program for South African scientists. We are going to promote and train doctors to become PhDs, and we're going to train 1,000 medical doctors to become PhDs in the next 10 years. We need new medical doctors with PhDs because we need to address some of the ills and disease burden that we have in South Africa. And we need new brains and new thought in that area. And unless we invest in young brains, we're not going to go anywhere in South Africa. SHIP is one of the most innovative things that we have done at the MRC to date. This takes the medical research capacity that we have in the MRC and works with a funder like the Department of Science and Technology to discover new devices, new drugs, new vaccines, new diagnostics that can completely change the way we see disease in South Africa. We need more of these partnerships. We need to concentrate on drug discovery, we need to work on devices, we need to work on vaccines, and only relationships and partnerships with DST, DOH and other funders can we use the money we've got to leverage bigger money to answer big questions. Okay, this is a very important meeting, and I'm very glad it's happening in South Africa. The networking we can do and the collaborations we can start or initiate are critical to the way we move forward. Pharmacology is essential in medical research, and we have to work closely with people, innovators, chemists, pharmacists, pharmacologists, and private partners and donors that are at this conference. We need to network with everybody and make sure that we establish good relationships so that we can go forward looking at how we can improve the way we do work here. And we need to make sure that we're involved in the drug discovery programs, the partnerships that we could get from this Congress. And so it's a very exciting Congress, and I do hope that we can make huge inroads into working with pharmacologists from all over the world to discover new drugs and new vaccines that will help us in South Africa. Well, the Medical Research Council is the epicenter of research in South Africa, and this makes us the preferred organization to work for. We are able to leverage great amounts of funding both from the private and public sector to answer big questions. And so if you want to answer big questions, you want to make drug discoveries, and you want to change the way we live and the way people live in South Africa, the Medical Research Council has got to be the place where you want to work.